Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be doing three things. First of all, I'm just going to give some Class Dojo points quickly for those people who did the the title pages. So you can see here, if this is you have it done. Good work for putting in the effort to do that. There were a couple important terms that we're going to be using, like Cartesian plane, that you need to do a little bit of research for in your textbook. And then also double check the comments that I gave you, because some people mislabeled the X and the Y axis. So that is important. Okay, so here we go. Give some points. Most people: Amber, Hashem, Soyun, Sammy, and Quinn, and Maddie, and DR. Okay, so you guys get the points for putting in the effort to do that. Well done. It will serve you well. Okay, so first of all, we are going to go over the homework questions from yesterday in the workbook. So please bring out a green pen to mark this yourself. All right, I've already began to do this. Okay, so we'll just kind of continue. So the first one says, okay, so we're adding 8 to the input to get the output. So 17 plus 8 is 25. And then 16 plus 8 would be 24. And then 15 plus 8 is 23. And then, oh, we're noticing a bit of a pattern here, okay? So you can even just kind of figure out this pattern based upon the fact that you know what's going on for the first couple. That is handy. Okay, great. Then it says over here we have to just divide. So divide by 4. So 40 divided by 4 is obviously 10. And then 36 divided by 4 is 9. 32 divided by 4 is 8. And then look at this. We already have a pattern developing. So you could do the math if you wanted to double check each, or you can follow the pattern, which for this one will work. Okay, so you can give yourself just like basically 1 mark. Either you have that and that, okay? Easy enough. All right, next one. Look at the table of values in question 1. Write the pattern rule for each group of terms. Okay, so, the output numbers in part A. Okay, well, here's part A, here are the output numbers. So I have to write the pattern rule for that. So I always have to say, start at, okay, so start, this is so slow. And then this should be at, start at 25. And then we are going up or down. We are decreasing. Okay, you can put decrease or you can do the arrow sign. Decrease by, what are we doing? What's the operation? We are subtracting 1, and then we're going to say each time. Okay, each time. Okay, good. Okay, all right, good, nice. The next one, the input numbers for part B. So here, input for part B. So we're just going to do this. Start at, just my little dashes to make it a little bit faster. Start at 40. And then are we increasing or decreasing? Again, we are going down by, it's the same thing. Down by 1, and then by subtracting 1 each time. Okay? So for this part, you can actually give yourself a couple more marks. Let's give yourself a mark for the start at 25. And then let's give yourself another mark for decreasing. And then another mark for the amount, which is -1. Same thing here. 40, decreasing, again, -1. So this page you can say is out of 8 marks. So maybe you got 6 out of 8, for example. Okay? Alrighty. Next one is this page. Okay, so, what we're doing here is same thing, okay? So we are just following what the input-output machine is telling us to do. So 93 minus 11, 82, 90 minus 11, 79, 87 minus 11, 76, 84 minus 11 is 73, and then 81 minus 11 is 70. Okay, cool. Or we could figure out that this is going down by 3 each time. Okay, see how that's happening there with the output. They didn't ask us that though for now. The next one is adding 12. So I just did this already. So you can give yourself a mark, basically 1 mark if you have the whole table, same thing over here. Okay, if you got one part wrong, I guess you can take off like half a mark. Hopefully that went pretty well though. Okay, next one is look at the table of values, write the number and the operation in each machine. Okay, so now we have to do what the math is. So for this one, okay, how do we get from 840 to 42? We should be able to do this with mental math. If we cross off the 0, that's going to be a lot easier for us to look at. 84 divided by something gives us 42. Well, we know that's going to be half. So 2, but then we have to add on the 0. So 20. I think it's 20, but I have to confirm that it works for all of them. So 800 divided by 40, if I was to cross off the 0 again, yep, 80 divided by 40 would, or 80 divided by 40, yeah, would be 2. So we add on the 2, which is 20. Yep, and then 76 divided by, if I did 76 divided by 2, I would get, yeah, I would get, because if I had 80, right, then it would be 40, but I've taken away 2, so the same thing that I'd have to do here. So it gives us 38. And then, yep, that works for all of them. Okay, so it's divide by 20. Then next one, okay, if you wanted to, you could use your calculator for this, but it's good for mental math. It should be multiply by 13, okay, to get the correct answer for that. So this one is just worth 1 mark, and this one's also worth 1 mark, giving us a total of 4 for this page. Okay, alrighty, so that is that for today. Now we are going on to today's lesson, which is a little bit more about the pattern rule, and then we're getting into something harder, okay? So if we were in class, I would have given you this, or you could easily just take a moment and copy this down. You do not need to have a new I can statement because it's the same. This is gonna kind of stick with us for a little while here. Okay, so input, output. Okay, so if they ask us to write the pattern rule for the input, okay, this is kind of what the question was from yesterday. We're just gonna go over this one more time though. So what would we say? We would say start at 1, okay, and then the input we are increase by adding 1 each time. Okay, that is that one. Hopefully that's easy enough. And then this next one is, okay, write the pattern rule for the output, okay? So again, start at 1, and then we're increase by, what are we doing here? We are adding 3 each time, okay? So hopefully you're okay to figure that one out. You see where I got those numbers from. Okay. Good stuff. All right, next one. Okay, this, I would like you to please copy down this table. Okay, it is the same one, but we're going to be doing something new now. So this is the new subheading, which is machines, which was the input output machine. So kind of like the ones we did yesterday, but now this is where it gets a little bit more difficult. We're going to have 2 operations, grade 5 and yesterday was technically a review of grade 5, which is just 1 operation. Grade 6, it goes to 2 operations. Okay, so write the pattern rule for this 2 operation machine. Okay, that is our instruction. So pro tip, I would like you to write this down. Use the guess and check strategy to problem solve. It may take a few tries, okay? So it might be a little bit frustrating if you try something and it doesn't work, but that is all part of math. That's part of being a mathematician, that's part of being a scientist. You have to be willing to try something that kind of makes sense and then justify your answer. Does this work? This is the tip over here. The pattern must work for all values, not just the first one. Okay, so whatever we have as our pattern rule, it must work for all of them, not just the first. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out what this is. Okay, so what I suggest that you do is you draw an input-output machine above, okay? But we know rather than just 1, we have 2 input-output machines, okay? This is different than yesterday. And we can even draw our little arrows if we want to, like this, and then it's gonna come out here, okay? And then same thing, it has to go through all of it. Okay, so let's just take some guesses. You should 100% be using a pencil for this, not a pen, okay? Because you might have to erase. You could use a pen for the boxes. That might even be kind of helpful, and then you can just erase over top of the pen. All right, so I know first of all that it's going to be going up, but by how much? Okay, maybe I want to try add 1. Okay, so say that I did that. Okay, add 1, okay, which would be 2. And then could I do divide by 2? Okay, we'll see. Well, that might work. Let's see. Okay, so 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, well, that works for the first one, but it has to work for all values. It cannot just work only for the first one. Okay, let's see again if my theory works. Okay, 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 divided by 2, does that give us 4? Nope, does not work. Okay, so I might have to, so it does not work. This is not the correct answer. Okay, so then I'm gonna have to erase it. Okay, that's part of it. All right, next, let's try something else. All right, maybe I want to do, maybe I want to do times by something first. What if I did times by 2, and then I did maybe subtract by 1. Let's see. Okay, 1 times 2 is 2. Subtract by 1 is 1. Ah, right on, that works. Okay, let's see if it works again. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract by 1, does not work. Okay, that also doesn't work. Okay, I need to try something else. This might be kind of part of it. Okay, well, maybe I have to think a little bit more outside the box. Maybe I have to do something that involves some multiplication, maybe some division, maybe some addition, and then maybe some subtraction. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go like this. Times by, let me see here, times by 3, and then I'm going to go subtract 2. Okay, let's see if that one works. I just sort of did the first couple in my mind. I stored the numbers in my mind while I was figuring this out. Let's see, 1 times 3, which is 3. 3 subtract 2 is 1. All right, this works. Let's see. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 subtract 2 is 4. Ooh, I might be right. Let's try this again. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract 2 is 7. All right, for good measure, I can check this one. 4 times 3 is 12. Minus 2 is 10. And then my last one would be 15. Minus 2 is 13. Right on. So that is it. Okay, so now I'm going to say start at 1, okay, and then I'm going to, overall my pattern is increase, so I'm going to increase by, and then I'm going to say multiply, so I can just say this, times by 3, then, because I have to do both, then subtract 2 each time. Okay, because we're not just doing it once, we're doing it for each of them. Okay, okay, there we go. So that is that example. Hopefully you have written that guy down. Okay, we're gonna do another one. Okay, here we go. So they might also ask you a question that's like this. Okay, continue the pattern for 4 more input values. Oh, okay, this is just sort of the same thing. Okay, so if I needed to do this, then all that I'm going to do is continue the pattern for 4 more input values. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 more. 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Okay, and then it's the same pattern that I had, or I know over here that I have done adding by 3. So I can do here, and this is kind of the helpful thing, plus by 3. So this is going to be obviously 16, and then 19, and then 22, and then 25. Okay, there we go. So that is all that we're practicing today. And this is your homework that is due tomorrow. So it's question pages 8 to 10 in the textbook. Oh, actually, you know what? It's not pages 8 to 10. It is only pages 8 to 9. I made this a little bit less, okay? Pages 8 to 9, questions 2, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so you can skip question 3. If you want to do it, you can, but you don't need to. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you in the textbook. Where is it here? No, that's science stuff. Okay, here we go. All right, so you can skip question 1 because that's from yesterday. It's just one machine. We're getting into the harder stuff. So here what you have to do is so this one, okay, it says for each input-output machine. So they give you 2. So you should set this up A, and then you should set it up B, because you have to do this twice. So you set up this input, you set this up, and then you would put this machine, A, over top of it, times by 6 minus 1, okay? And then fill in the output. So that's the first one. Check. Write the pattern rule that relates the input to the output. So I would say start at 2, increase by multiplying by 6, and then add 1 each time. Okay, I just did the first one for you. Then you have to say, write the pattern rule for the input. So that's where you're starting at 2, increase by adding 2 each time. And then you have to say the pattern rule for the output. Okay, so that's over here. You're gonna have to actually write down what that is for the output. That's the only part that I haven't basically given away. Then you have to do the exact same thing for B. Okay, 3 you can skip if you want, you can do it though. And then you have to do 4 through 6. So it's pretty much the same thing, but they, let's see. Oh, this one's easier because it only has 1 machine. This one has 2. And then this one, this one, they just say that you have to figure out if something is incorrect or not. So then I suggest that you maybe copy this down and then show the ones that you think are incorrect. Okay, for this, you just need to have this done for tomorrow. You do not need to submit this onto Seesaw because we're going to go over the answers tomorrow in class. Okay, that is it, and see you soon.